Hey guys, this is not going to be like my regular videos. Clearly, I'm sitting at the bar here. There's my pool table. I'm not even going to go there. I've had an idea been bouncing around in my head for a while about just talking about my experiences as a YouTube content creator. And I kind of felt like, no, I need to get more experience. But one of the channels I subscribe to, he did a little video about his experiences, and I thought it was really interesting. What the heck? I'll just try to do the same thing. I am nowhere near an expert on YouTube content creation and such. Just some of the things that I've kind of picked up, and I wanted to talk about if you want to be a content creator in a small niche, like pool is a pretty small niche as far as YouTube goes. But this type of thinking would probably work for underwater basket weaving, fixing cars, whatever it would be. Just work for just about anything, is my opinion. So I'm going to talk about some of that stuff. The first thing I kind of want to get out of the way, though, is that this is not a get rich quick thing. This is not an overnight millionaire thing. And people will often jump into it seeing, creators like Mr. Beast or whoever and go, I can do that. I'll just become a billionaire. Well, he didn't do it overnight, first of all. Second of all, you have to have certain personalities for certain types of videos that you do. I myself, I could never do that type of video, even if I had the money and the resources to be able to put something like that together. I'm not that upbeat. I couldn't. Maybe I could fake it for video, maybe for 2 videos, but for no more than that. You kind of have to know. Well, you have to know yourself, and you have to understand that it's more about enjoying it than it is about this is a retirement plan. I've been doing this channel in earnest for a little over 3 years now, and I've been paid twice uh, for a total of about $400. Not really enough to survive on, maybe enough to supplement Social Security once I retire a little bit if it continues to grow, but it is not. Hey, I'm monetized on YouTube now. So it's not like I just hit the lottery. It's not like that. And people, I think, have to keep that in mind, or they're going to be disappointed. And when they get disappointed, they're going to abandon the channel, abandon their efforts on doing it. I found myself in an interesting situation a week or so ago, trying to talk to my friend Tony, who's one of the absolute top players on the planet, into getting back into his YouTube stuff. And he just didn't have time to do it. And I can definitely understand that. I kind of think it might have been a little bit more than that, than just the time thing. There are a lot of misconceptions about, oh, you have to spend money to make money, that type of thing. You don't. For YouTube, I could I could have a YouTube channel, especially one as simple as mine, with this. Record it, upload it, there we go. I could do that. I have other things. I've spent money on other things. The camera you're looking at right now. I have another camera behind me. I have 4 or 5 other cameras in various stages of use. I have lights and stuff. But don't need any of that. Really, I think the thing you need is you need to have passion. You need to have a passion for doing something. For me, it's playing pool. Some people, underwater basket weaving. Other people, fixing cars, building furniture, whatever. Something that you're interested in and you can sit and you can talk to a camera about at length if necessary. You have to have that. You don't have to have a passion for making videos, but I think it helps to at least enjoy it, at least tolerate it. I myself, I do enjoy the process of getting the video footage and editing it together and trying to make it look halfway pretty and putting it up on YouTube. I kind of enjoy that. It's not a passion of mine. Pool is the passion of mine, but you kind of need that. And yeah. So what I'm going to do here tonight is I'm just sitting down here at my bar and I'm watching a rerun of some shows because season 3 is out now. And when I think of stuff that is relevant to all this, I'll start up the camera and talk about that. It might be a long video, it might be a short video. Hopefully, it'll make a little bit of sense. And I'll talk to you guys in a bit. One of the things that really surprised me when I first saw it, I saw it on a YouTube video. It's funny. One of the biggest things on YouTube, one of the biggest groups of channels, niches on YouTube is how to make YouTube videos, how to make money on YouTube, how to be successful on YouTube. I watch all that stuff. I tend to be a little bit obsessive about certain things, and so I watch all the stuff. One of the things that kind of surprised me was video quality is not nearly as important as audio quality. Even though YouTube is a visual medium, it's not nearly as important as audio. Just imagine that you're watching me right now and you can see me just perfectly fine, but the audio is absolute garbage. You can barely make out what I'm saying. There's a lot of background noise. You're probably going to click away. Now, imagine now that you can hear me great, but the video is horrible. There's all kinds of line noise and all this stuff, but you can hear me great. You can understand what I'm saying and all that. You might be a little bit more inclined to keep watching, keep listening in that case, if the video is that bad. So even though YouTube is, a visual thing, it's the audio that really counts. The camera that I'm talking to you right now has basically a broken built-in microphone, although it was broken out of the box brand new. And everybody let me know, boy, Dave, the video or the audio on this camera is horrible, horrible, horrible. I got this camera in the summer, and people let me know, man, your audio quality's gone way down. I've tried many, many multiple things to try to get that to get to work to be better. No success. So I went back to my old camera, and that's my main camera that's back there. This camera is just for the rare occasions when I'm going to be sitting at the bar talking into it. What I have to do though is I can't use that built-in microphone because it's garbage. So I bought lavalier microphone. This is one of those things that I guess in theory you're supposed to pin to your lapel, but I'm not doing that. It's on the bar, just talking. The audio quality. I'm not singing. I'm not a singer. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you need to be able to understand what I'm saying and not have a lot of background noise, things like that. So, it's one thing to definitely keep in mind is sure you could probably use like just your phone to do this stuff, but if the audio quality isn't any good, then maybe you want to invest in something else. Sometimes you do have to spend a little bit of money to make a little bit of money. Just thinking about the fact that you can make a YouTube with just a phone, and I have chosen not to. Some of the extravagances, I guess, that I have spent money on. One of them would be some green screen and green screen technology, so I can do kind of stupid stuff like this and put myself into any setting. It's fun for me. Again, you don't need that. It's fun for me, and I think some people kind of get caught up in special effects. This is not a Hollywood blockbuster that you're trying to make here. This is YouTube. You're trying to be entertaining, maybe informative, that type of thing. So some of the creators that I've seen, some of the channels I've seen, get so caught up in making everything look good and fancy and special effects and all that. I feel like they're taking themselves a little bit too seriously. One of the big things here recently is drone footage. Everybody that takes a camera outside, they have to have drone footage as well. You know, sure, there are worse things these people could be spending their money on and stuff like that, but it doesn't make a good video just because you have something fancy in it doesn't mean it's going to be any good. I guess I could get my drone down here and have it fly around my table when I'm shooting. If I ever do that, it's just because I think it's funny. Seriously, it's not because I think, oh, this is going to make the video better. It's just because I would think it would be funny. And sometimes people take themselves just too seriously. This is my opinion. Some of these creators, I admire what they do, but and they start getting the really long intros and maybe the shirts with their logo on it and all this musical interludes and all this stuff. I feel like sometimes they're just taking themselves too seriously because when you get right down to it, they're YouTubers. They're doing something that anybody could do. Anybody with at least a phone could make a YouTube channel. So there's really nothing special. Beyond just the equipment, the software, the lights, whatever, which again, don't need. YouTube making a channel is about, you. And you have to have some qualities that make people want to watch, make people want to keep coming back and keep watching. There are various things that you can do. Probably a lot that I haven't thought of or run across yet, but you could be like one of the top professionals in whatever your niche is. In my case, you could be one of the top pool players. You could be uh, one of the top basket weavers, whatever. You have respect just because of that, just because of who you are. People have heard of you, you're famous, whatever. That means people are going to, hey, man, that person's got a channel. I'm going to see what they have to say. The next thing you need, though, is you need to, I don't know, this may just be my opinion, but you have to come off a little bit approachable. So many of the really top experts in their fields that I've watched, they kind of to me seem to come off like they're know-it-alls, and they're preaching down to their audience. I don't feel like that's the right approach. Maybe for some of these people it is, but I do feel like it can turn just as many people off as it might bring in name recognition type of stuff. If you are a top professional, there's more to it than just being really, really good at what you're doing. If you're going to try to make a YouTube channel, you have to have a personality that's kind of decent. You have to seem approachable. If you're like more of an instructional type of a channel, you need the ability to explain things without mansplaining things, if that makes any sense. I never really quite understood that term completely because I'm a man and I do explain things. I don't think I mansplain though. I don't think so. At least no one's yelled at me about it. Anyway, you basically just have to kind of seem like a real person, even if maybe in your own mind you're not a real person because you're way up here and all the lesser people are down here. Maybe that's what you think, but you can't let them think that because they're going to click away. They're going to click away and go watch somebody else's channel, someone that they feel is more like in their group. I'm nowhere near a top professional. I think upper middle class is, that's what I've always said about myself. I'm not a beginner. I'm not a top professional. I have been playing for a long time. I know some things. I don't know everything. And I try not to act like I know everything. If I had a much better personality, much more bubbly or whatever, I could be even more of a beginner than I am. There are channels that I watch where the people putting them out are like APA 2s and 3s and 4s, I would say 3s and 4s. And I'm not watching that to see great pool being played. I'm watching it because, hey, this dude's really cool, or this chick's really cool. They're really funny, whatever it is. If you can have that kind of thing about yourself, your own personality, and the way you can come across to your audience, you don't need as much talent or knowledge. If you have the talent and knowledge, and you have the ability to pass it down to people, you're personable and all that, then that's great. That's why I tried to talk my friend Tony into getting back into it, because he has the knowledge, he has the skills, he has the personality. What he doesn't have is the time, and I'm going to quit harping on him. But I think that is more important than just being really good at whatever your niche is. But it's it's hard for me to say, because I just, from my own perspective, I know the direction I'm coming from, and there's a part of me that thinks, everybody needs to come from the same direction, from this upper middle class direction. It's not the case. It, you just can't come off as somebody who is a know-it-all. And boy, there's some channels that I should be watching, but I don't, because they come off like know-it-alls. So I'll watch somebody else. Watch somebody else. One of the things that I've seen a lot on a lot of the YouTube channels I've watched, as I said, a lot of the channels I watch are about how to succeed on YouTube, how to make money on YouTube, how to be popular on YouTube, things like that. One of the big things that a lot of those videos have talked about is, when you get in your niche, then the other content creators in that niche are your competition. And they talk about things like, that is your competition. You have to be better than your competition, squash your competition. I've never really been like that. I'm not like that with YouTube. I'm not even really like that in life. Um, I'm much more. I like the old saying that a rising tide lifts all ships, and I think that pool, in particular, here is a small enough niche that that can happen. If someone watches something that I say on my channel and they really like it, it doesn't mean, okay, they're never going to watch anybody else for pool, just me. I'm fulfilling their needs. No, pool players are kind of obsessive about things, so they're going to go for somebody else and look at theirs, and look, they're just going to keep hitting the search, and they're going to watch all the pool content they can. This is what happens. If I say something and maybe it doesn't quite come across, they don't quite understand what I'm saying the way I'm putting it out there, but they'll go to, say, like Ron, the pool student's channel. He may say the exact same thing that I say, but he's himself, and he words it differently, and he presents it differently. And so maybe some people that didn't understand the words coming out of my mouth will understand the words coming out of his mouth, and then viewers are happy, creators are happy, more pool players are created and things like that. I don't see my peers in this niche, Ron and Sherry. I'm sorry, I don't want to, Lil Chris, John, is it Disc or Disc A? Don't know. These are the kind of people that a lot of the YouTube channels would say are my competition. I must crush them. No, I'm not going to crush them. I'm wishing them all well. Some of the top players that are not my peers, Federer Gorse has a channel, things like that. Great. He's not my competition. And if I ever got to be like a really, really good player or really famous, Federer's still not going to be my competition. At that point, we would be peers in the same niche. I don't expect that to happen. Get whatever you wanted to say. I could say the same thing about the people that are just starting out to play. They're not my competition. I don't want to keep them down. I want them to come up. I want us all to be, one big happy family and all that fun stuff. One thing to keep in mind is I talked about, personality and all that stuff. You could be the funniest person that ever lived. You could have the greatest personality, but if your niche is some type of instructional thing like pool, and you completely suck, if you're the worst pool player in the world, or the worst underwater basket weaver in the world, whatever, then you're in the wrong niche. If you're really that funny, maybe you should be in the funny person niche, because people aren't going to keep watching. If you purport to be some type of an expert or a semi-expert on anything, people will find out pretty quickly if you're not. And they won't keep watching, waiting for you to get better. They will just go on to someplace else. If they're looking for some type of knowledge, then they're going to go someplace else. They're not going to find that the knowledge they're looking for on your channel if you don't have it. You can't fake it. If you try to fake it, they're going to find that out too. They're going to realize that right away. So back to one of my first points, you have to have some knowledge. You don't have to be great. You have to be, maybe better than your intended audience. One of the things that I see a lot on the YouTube videos I watch is you want to have an intended audience and kind of pretend, like me, I have an intended audience. I actually have an intended person that I pretend is my audience because he's kind of representative. I don't want somebody that's so young that they have zero patience and they're always looking for the secret of pool, because they're going to get tired of me yammering and click someplace else, try to find it someplace else. I don't want somebody that's so old and set in their ways that they already think they know everything. So why would they listen to me? They never heard me, so they're going to go someplace else. I'm looking for somebody of a certain age, a certain experience level, things like that. I want them to be good players, but to understand that they don't know everything, that they can still learn some things. Even from somebody they never heard of like me, they may be able to learn something. I want them to, again, be old enough that they have some patience. They understand that there are no secrets that are going to instantaneously turn someone into a champion. There's little tidbits and things. So, like I said, I have one person in mind that I guess I know him personally. He's not a friend of mine, but I pretend that I'm talking to him when I'm doing my videos. I'm usually talking to the camera back there, but I'm not talking to the camera. I'm talking to that guy because I think it's something that were we to meet up in the pool room over some beers or whatever, he would be interested in this type of thing. So that's what I try to do. I try to always have an intended audience. You want an intended audience that fits in your niche. There are people that I could be imagining that would probably, hang on my every word. Girlfriend, sister, things like that. But they're not in my niche. My niche is a pool player, like I just described. Not too old, not too young, just right. Not too experienced, not too inexperienced, just right. And that's what I try to do. I think I do a pretty good job of it because I think I picked a pretty good representative person for my intended audience. At least so far, he hasn't disappointed me. I think if I close out this little video, I don't have any idea how long it is, but I want to close it out with some of the things that I guess I wish people had really stressed to me or that I had seen on the YouTube channels that I watch. It would have made things a little bit easier for me. Some of the things that I've said that you need or that you don't need, yeah, sure, that's been helpful. But one of the biggest things for me has been getting a backlog, I guess I would call it. Maybe that's not the right term, but when I first started doing this, I tried to do a video every 3 days. For a few days, a few weeks, I managed that. And then every 4 days. And then every 5 days. And I'm always seeing these videos about you need to be consistent, you need to be consistent. But what was happening with me, it was almost like I was living paycheck to paycheck. But as far as YouTube videos go, I put out a video on Monday, and now it's Thursday, and I don't have anything. So I just have to just fire up the camera and just yammer and hope it's decent. I'd do that. And then Sunday, I'd have to do the same thing again. And it was like constantly knowing, oh my gosh, I got to put something else out. I got to put something else out. So I stretched it out to 4 days. Still the same thing, though. I didn't have a backlog. And now I do. Now I do. I mean, it's not a huge one. Right now, it's what I don't even know what the hell day it is. It's the 19th of October. I have videos already recorded and uploaded to YouTube through the end of November. So I have about a 6 week backlog, I call it, which means in theory, I could take the next 6 weeks off before I have to worry about making another video, before I have that pressure again. I don't want to do that. I want to have a backlog of 2 or 3 months. Not so I can take 2 or 3 months off, but just so I don't have that pressure at all anymore. And I don't have to put out a video just because it's the day to put out a video. I could do it maybe a little bit better. Don't have to. I could do a video and then watch it and go, man, I could do that better. What I have time now, I can do it better. I can do a better job of it. Then maybe even improve on it some more. And by the time it does actually get published out on YouTube, it's basically as good as I can make it. Uh, it's a nice feeling to have. And a nicer feeling to have for me is to just not have that pressure of got to put something out, got to put something out. Oh my gosh, what's my next idea? What's my next idea? Got to put a video out. Or otherwise, I'm not consistently posting. And everybody says you have to consistently post. Yeah, but what if you're consistently posting crap because you're rushing through it because you're feeling these deadlines? You just put something out there. Put something out there. You don't want to post a video just to post a video. I mean, I don't. I want it to be good and entertaining and whatever, depending on the type of video, entertaining, funny, maybe informative, that type of thing. I don't want to just put a video out because it's Thursday. Or, oh my gosh, I'm due to put out a video today. I don't want that. And I'm really glad that I have this 6 week cushion now. This video I'm doing right now, 18th of October, it's not going to get published till the first week of December at the earliest. I may even push it back further. I may watch all this footage I've done tonight and go, you know what? I could do better. Or, you know what? There are a bunch of points that I forgot to talk about. Or, you know what? There's some stuff that I yammered on and 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 on about that maybe I should reshoot that where it's a little bit more concise. I have that kind of time to do that without the pressure of a deadline looming on me. I could also take this video and push it out even further to late December, January, whatever, if I make some other videos that I think are much better, maybe better timing or whatever. Moscone Cup's coming up. If I do a video about Moscone Cup, then anything after that will get pushed back. And this is all fine, and it's a nice feeling to have. That's probably the number one piece of advice I can give to anybody thinking about making a channel. Is not just post consistently because you have to, but post consistently because you can. Take a weekend. I'm on a 3-day weekend right now. I'm making as many videos as I can this weekend, and then my December and January are covered, and I can get by without that pressure. Um, I don't know if I've articulated what I wanted to say really well, but it's nice. It is a nice thing to have this cushion, this headroom, whatever you want to call it, where I don't have that pressure. You must put something out now. No, I don't have to put something out now. I've done all this recording here tonight, and I could just trash it all. I could, because I've got several weeks to do a better job with it. It is very nice. It's the difference between living paycheck to paycheck and having a bunch of money in your account where you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. All right, I'm going to quit that because I really do feel like I just started yammering. And I also don't feel like I was yammering before in any of these little segments. I haven't watched it yet, so I might be wrong. Anyway, thanks, guys.